Hey guys, what's up? Thanks so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a speed review on several products that I recently featured, whether it was like drugstore hauls, first impressions type of videos. Nicole Renee was one of the very first creators that I saw do this video. I know Jessica Braun does them, Taylor Wynn does them. I'm sure there's many other creators as well, but those are three channels that I personally love and enjoy watching. So I'll be sure to link their channels down below. I'm sure many of you already follow them, but just in case, you're missing out. So I'm actually going to talk about a product just briefly because I love this one so much. I did feature it in my most recent monthly favorites, but I wanted to talk about it again because I did share it in my most recent K-Beauty haul. This is actually a Japanese product. If you are looking for just your go-to everyday hyaluronic essence or toner and you don't have this in your skincare routine already, I promise it is worth every single penny. I use this morning and night. I've already turned on several of my friends to it. And I had mentioned either in that favorites video or in IG stories. I can't remember. But I had mentioned that my esthetician was really impressed by the ingredient list, the hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, as well as the variants of hyaluronic acid. I didn't realize that there were multiple kinds, but apparently there are. I just can't get enough of this. This has definitely improved just the overall condition of my skin. If your skin is moisturized, it's happy, and just overall looks better. I'm so impressed by this, so I wanted to talk about it one more time because I promise you will love it. Moving on to other complexion products, let me go ahead and start off with some primers first. I did demo some of these products in this video, like I have them on my face today, but some of them I skipped over because I've already shown them in a previous tutorial. But this was my first time, I think, showing this on camera. I've been testing out the One Size Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. This is Patrick Starr's line that you can find at Sephora. I was really excited to try this because I'm just a primer junkie. This entire drawer right here is full of many different primers. I just love to test them out. So this primer retails for $30. It's just a traditional squeeze tube component. And I noticed the very first day that I applied this, it reminded me so much of a specific product. I was literally sitting here like Rafiki with, from Lion King, with primer dollops on each thumb and feeling them and trying to figure out the differences. If you are looking for a drugstore dupe of this, because I know not everyone wants to spend $30 on a primer, the Revlon Photo Ready Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing, it's the primer in the pink tube, is very similar. You're just looking for something that is blurring and mattifying, but without being drying, you can get that same finish with both of these primers. Honestly, the biggest difference I can notice was the tackiness. Besides that, I honestly feel like both of these went on identical, like even the texture, everything felt very similar. So overall, if you've been dying to try this one and you haven't tried the Revlon one yet, I would say you could skip out on it unless you're someone who just loves testing out different primers. You got an extra $30 on your pocket, then by all means try it. It is a good primer, but I just don't find it to be any better than the Revlon one. This isn't a primer, it's kind of a universal product. You can use it as a primer, a glowy product, a liquid highlighter on top. It is the Auric Glow Lust Radiant Luminizer. I got mine in the shade Pyrite. Packaging, 10 out of 10, both the outer packaging and then the actual component. This has some weight to it. It's frosted glass. It just looks very high-end and luxe. I have to say shipping was very fast. It's $45. It is a pricier product. A lot of people, including the creator, Sam herself, have been comparing it to the Hollywood Flawless Filter. This one is in shade 2. I'll go ahead and do some swatch comparisons for you. The Charlotte Tilbury one, you get 1 ounce. This one retails for $44. The Auric Beauty or Auric Cosmetics, just Auric, I'm not quite sure. This one you get 1.18 fluid ounces and it's $45. So it is $1 more than Charlotte Tilbury. I know people were raging about the price point. This is very hard for me to say because I adore Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is my second bottle of this one. I am more than halfway through this. It's a product that I will continue to use. I don't know if it's just because Auric is new to my collection right now, so I'm just really excited to have something that I love, or if it's truly that I like this more than the Hollywood Flawless Filter. For the last, like 2 weeks? Yeah, I think I've had it for about 2 weeks. I've been reaching for this over Hollywood Flawless Filter, which is just so crazy to say, but just like the Flawless Filter, I love to use this under my makeup, on top of my makeup. It does have a thicker consistency than the Hollywood Flawless Filter. There's no actual visible glitter. It's just this amazing luminosity. It's so pretty. I have no regrets with buying this product. I don't think I would ever have to repurchase this because you only need the tiniest bit. But if I did run out of it, I definitely would run out and buy another bottle. I'm very, very happy with it. This is the Wet n Wild Glass Correct Primer. I got mine in yellow. There's also a green version as well. I did an entire mini tutorial demo using both of these products together. This primer, the actual texture isn't anything amazing. Honestly, it just kind of feels like a gel moisturizer on your face, but it's the glow that it leaves your skin. It truly leaves your skin looking glassy. This combo though, it's like a match made in heaven. I love the tinted hydrator on any day. I mean, I used it today too. I've been using it a ton, but these two products together, it's just, my face is so glassy and glowy and just healthy looking. I love them. The price point is amazing. Oh, I forgot to bring it here. The e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I did do an entire video of that as well, and I have to say I prefer the Wet n Wild Hydrator a million times more than the e.l.f. Camo CC. A lot of people are saying that that one is a dupe of the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I just find it to be drier on the face. It's something that I really need to go in and make sure my face is hydrated before I apply it, because I just find that it really catches onto any little dry patches. It's not a bad product, but I'm someone who prefers the It Cosmetics CC Cream in the illumination formula versus the originals. But if I had to pick between the Wet n Wild or the e.l.f. Camo CC, I would pick this guy over and over again. Another product from Wet n Wild, this is the Incognito Mega Last All Day Full Coverage Concealer. I don't dislike it, but anytime that I do use this, I'm always like, man, I wish I would have just used my Pony Effect concealer or just really any other concealer. It's not bad, it's just not the best. I have so many other concealers that I prefer way more than this. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer is better than this. I just noticed that it tends to emphasize texture a little bit more than some of my other concealers. It's gonna be something that I declutter. This is the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. I have mine in the shade 210 Light to Medium. Has 29% squalane, electrolytes, coconut water blend. I'm still kind of figuring out this product. I wore it to Pilates the other day because I just felt like my skin just looked a little blah and sallow and it just needed something, but I didn't really feel like wearing makeup, and this kind of did it for me. It's almost like a more sheer, less luminous version of the Hollywood Flawless Filter. These are apples and oranges. So I don't even want to compare this to this because this is miles better. But you know, if you have this in your collection and there's a day where you're just like, I want something on my face, but I just don't feel like putting on an actual CC cream or foundation, but I just want something to kind of brighten my skin, that's what this does. The coverage is very, very minimal. It's not really buildable in my opinion either. To me, this is an ideal like beach or pool product where you want a ton of sunscreen on your face, but you just want something, but you don't want any concealer, foundation, BB cream, but just something to slightly even things out, but where everything is still visible. I just think right now I'm so impressed with the Wet n Wild Skin Hydrator that this just isn't really speaking to my soul quite as much. One other face product that I wanted to briefly mention, this is the No. 7 Lift and Luminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. The very first time that I featured this in a video, I had mentioned that it just didn't really play well with the tinted hydrator. At least in my opinion, it somehow accentuated pores and everything. It worked great on my under eyes, but everywhere else it just looked a little funky. I honestly think it's just these two products together. However, this has worked great on top of any other liquid foundation that I've used, especially the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. That's like my go-to everyday foundation. This powder on top of that, just like on my smile lines, my chin, my forehead, it just blends in seamlessly. It truly just has this blurring effect. I do love it on my under eyes. This was a product that I picked up because Jessica Broad is always raving about it, and I can definitely see why. I'm typically someone who does not gravitate towards pressed powder, so that's why I put it off for so long, but man, I'm glad I finally grabbed it because I have been very, very impressed. Moving on to these Air Matte Blushes from NARS. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about these. While I love NARS, it's easily one of my most favorite and most used brands, but I love cream products. So I was like, either way, I gotta give them a try. And I have to say, I've really been enjoying these. Today, I'm wearing the shade Freedom. The only shade I'm not crazy about is Orgasm. There's way too much glitter in it. I've personally never really been that big of a fan of the original powder version of Orgasm either. I've always thought it's kind of overrated blush. I feel like NARS makes so many other better blushes, but shades are definitely all about personal preference. However, these three here I have been enjoying a ton. I've actually used Scandalous on my eyes a few times as well, and I didn't have any issues with it smudging or getting all over the place. It has more of a moussey, cloudy type of texture, but it's a product that really shears out. It's seamless. Since it's so thin on the skin, I noticed that it wears for a very, very long time. You know the way a stain, like a lip stain, a cheek stain, anything like that, once you really press it into the skin, it just feels kind of invisible, but the color's there. That's how this feels on the face. I've gone in and applied it with my fingers, but I really just like to use any sort of like stippling brush. I'll get some in there and then I'll kind of tap it on the back of my hand and then just blot that onto my cheeks, and it looks beautiful. Moving on, we just have two lip products. I want to briefly talk about these. They are the Too Faced Peach Bloom, what are you? Color Blossoming Lip Balm. So they did send me over all the shades. I had swatched 3 of them, and the very first thing that I noticed is that all of them kind of gave the same exact tint. So it's one of those products that you apply onto your lips and just the warmth of your lips kind of changes it to more of berry pink. There was 1 or 2 shades that maybe pulled more corally pink, but most of them, at least swatched on my arm and on my lips, just pulled a very like bubble gum berry type of pink. So I only kept 2. I have a ton that I didn't even swatch that I'm including in my giveaway drawer, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. They do feel nice on the lips. They glide right on. It has a little bit of a stiffer texture, but once it gets onto the warmth of your lips, it really does just glide right on. They smell nice. For the price point, I don't really think they're worth it. I want to say they're either $18 or $20. I feel like you could find something very similar at the drugstore. Not a bad product, but definitely overpriced. However, a lip product that I have been using nonstop, these are the Persona eBalm. So I have all 3, I think there's only 3 shades, but my most used shade is Gratitude. This is a product that you definitely want to keep out of your car. It is a very, very glossy and melty product. The only downside to that is I think you could get through it pretty quickly. I mean, there's still a lot of product left, but once you get this on your lips, it instantly just like melts down right away. You get a really nice tint, but the gloss and the texture, it's so, so nice. It has a very high shine glossy finish without being sticky or greasy. It's definitely more of a slippy type of product. Obviously, it's not transfer proof or anything like that, but it's still just a comfortable, easy type of product to wear. Oh, I just love the texture. Wow, I feel like I've been talking forever. If you made it through the video, thanks. I appreciate ya. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let me know if there are any new releases that you would like to see a review or tutorial on. As always, thanks so much for spending part of your day with me. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.